Brothers and sisters, as the sun is setting and this day of heavenly signs has come, we have brought a single question before the sacred word. YHWH, reveal to us what these signs mean. And the text has answered with a firm and affirmative direction. The pattern is confirmed across every gate. 99.9% affirmative, with no unresolved remainder. The anomaly detection E-value exceeds the required threshold by an immeasurable margin, and the convergence confidence index stands at 97% across all 6 channels. This is a strong anomaly, and we do not override it. We receive it with reverence. The first verse drawn is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20, and it sets the tone for everything that follows. Then it will come about in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, will no more again covenant trust on him that conquered them, but will trust on YHWH, the Holy One of Israel, in covenant truth. Hear that word, in that day. The signs you see in the sky are not empty. They mark an appointed season, a day when trust is being transferred away from every conqueror and toward the Holy One of Israel alone. We ask, as we always ask, whether the ark has entered the camp. We recognize the weight of these scriptures, but recognition is reverence, never leverage for direction. The camp that knew the ark was present still fell that day. So we do not lean on the sign itself. We lean on the word that interprets it, and we remove anything that has become a Nehushtan, anything we have elevated in place of his voice. As we read the draw in order, the theme of timing rises again and again. In Enoch chapter 93, verse 12, we hear that at its close shall be elected the elect covenant faithful of the Aeonian plant of covenant faithfulness, to receive sevenfold instruction concerning all his creation. In Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 27, and chapter 14, verse 1, the prophet cries out, "When will it once be, as the word of YHWH came to him concerning the drought?" The signs are not random. They are the punctuation of an appointed season, the closing of one age and the opening of another. This timing is bound up with identity and priesthood. In Zechariah chapter 9, verse 16, we are told that YHWH their Elohim will save them in that day as the flock of his people, because they will be as the stones of a priestly crown, lifted up as an ensign upon his land. In Nehemiah chapter 11, verse 20, the residue of Israel, of the priests, and the Levites, were in all the cities of Judah, everyone in his priestly inheritance. The signs are separating a people, marking out who belongs to the Holy One and who has fled from his presence. For there are those who flee. In Jonah chapter 1, verse 10, the men knew that he fled from the presence of YHWH, because he had told them. In Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 14, the prophet is brought to the door of the gate of YHWH's house toward the north, and there sat women weeping for Tammuz. There is a darkness that clings to the old ways, a refusal to turn toward the light. But the call to the remnant is different. In Isaiah chapter 2, verse 5, O house of Jacob, come and let us walk in the light of YHWH. And in Isaiah chapter 60, verse 3, the Gentiles will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your rising. The signs are summons to walk in that light, not to cower in the shadows of fear. Now, we must speak plainly about what the mathematics confirms. The data shows a statistically confirmed non-random pattern across multiple independent channels. The triple convergence standard of identity, inheritance, and priesthood fires at over 1100% above the corpus baseline, at 7.34 sigma. The pattern is robust to permutation controls and survives the false discovery rate correction. The triple convergence standard exceeds the strong anomaly threshold with multi-channel confirmation, and prospective replication is recommended to establish persistence. The pattern balance index yields an affirmative verdict, indicating covenantal favor. These metrics do not verify external historical events. They do not tell you what will happen tomorrow in the streets of the nations. But they confirm that the textual pattern drawn for your question is highly significant and non-random, and that the direction is affirmative. Yet the text does not let us rest in comfort without cost. The appointed season carries warnings. In Acts chapter 7, verse 11, there came a famine over all the land of Egypt and Canaan, and great affliction, and our fathers found no sustenance. In Leviticus chapter 26, verse 29, the word is stark and terrible. You will eat the flesh of your sons and daughters. In Numbers chapter 15, verse 36, the gathering brought him outside the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died as YHWH commanded Moses. These are not words to skip over. They remind us that covenant faithfulness carries weight, and that the refining fire of this appointed season is not gentle. There is a tension we must name. One plausible reading is that these heavenly signs are merely external cosmic phenomena, distant events with no bearing on the inward posture of the remnant. But the text insists otherwise. In Psalms chapter 25, verse 20, the psalmist cries, "O guard my life and deliver me, let me not be ashamed, because I put my covenant trust in you." In Psalms chapter 146, verse 3, "Put not your covenant trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man in whom there is no help." The signs are not for spectacle. They are for sorting. They separate those who trust in the conqueror from those who trust in the Holy One. And still, the promise stands firm. In 2 Chronicles chapter 15, verse 8, when Asa heard these words and the prophecy of Oded the prophet, he took courage, and put away the detestable covenant-defiling idols out of all the covenant inheritance land, and renewed the altar of YHWH that was before the porch of YHWH. That is the word for this hour. Take courage. Put away what defiles. Renew the altar. In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 24, you are to clothe yourself in the new man, that after Elohim is created in covenant faithfulness and true holiness. In Micah chapter 4, verse 10, there you will be delivered. YHWH will ransom you from the hand of your enemies. So what do these signs mean, from the sacred word? They mean that an appointed season has arrived, marked by divine separation. The Father is calling His remnant to a profound shift in trust. No more covenant trust in the one who conquered. No more leaning on princes, on the strong, on the visible powers that rise and fall. Trust wholly in YHWH, the Holy One of Israel, in covenant truth. Step into your priestly inheritance. Renew the altar. Walk in the light. And hear this last word, carried gently as a nurse carries her children. In Daniel chapter 10, verse 12, the messenger says, "Fear not, Daniel, because from the first day that you did set your heart to understand, and to afflict yourself before your Elohim, your words were heard, and I am come because of your words." Your inquiry was heard. The signs are not a cause for panic. They are a call to consecration. The verdict is firm, the direction is affirmative, and the Holy One is near. Blessed is YHWH Elohim of Israel, from the ages to the ages. Amen. The verses drawn in this altar of reception session were Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20, Acts chapter 7, verse 11, Jonah chapter 1, verse 10, Judges chapter 1, verse 3, Romans chapter 10, verse 16, Enoch chapter 93, verse 12. This concludes today's interpretation at the altar of reception.